What is up, guys? Player One Gaming here. Excuse me. Um, I'm back with another video. This is my week 2 reaction and results for the Big Ten. I did this last week. Last Sunday I did this. Also, I'm sorry I didn't upload yesterday. I literally had nothing to upload. I also didn't have any time. There's nothing to talk about. Honestly, there was nothing to talk about. So I'm just gonna go over week 2 now, and I'll probably have a couple videos planned, or a video planned for tomorrow, and then I know tomorrow and the next day I've got a couple of videos I can make. So, let's go on with the week 2 and what happened. So if my phone would scroll, there we go. We had another Big Ten matchup, Rutgers and Ohio State. This was a blowout, obviously, as you can see. This was a blowout. As expected, Ohio State wins here. Rutgers didn't look good. 52-3 here. They really couldn't do anything against the team with this much talent. Maryland, after a close win last week against Texas, you know, I thought they would struggle more, to be honest with you, but they took care of business and they got the win 45-14. So Maryland remains undefeated. We'll see how long that lasts. Probably not long. Indiana probably had the most forgettable game this week. Getting the win though, in a close one against Virginia. It was a late game too. But Indiana wins here 20-16. Whatever. Penn State and Pittsburgh. I honestly thought Pittsburgh would do a lot better. I thought it might come down to a last second play for Penn State to win, but that wasn't the case. It was close for a little while, and then Penn State established their dominance and got the win 51-6. I got tired of watching it after they scored 30 points. Michigan gets their first win of the week. Obviously, I'm happy about this. Some things that still I wish wouldn't happen is Ambry Thomas would stop being an idiot and late hits and jumping off sides and just being an idiot. But other than that, Shea Patterson scored 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. We could run really well. We looked very good. So Michigan gets the win 49-3. Should be 49-0, but some people like to put their backups in. Michigan State. Oh my gosh, man. I could not stay up that late enough to watch the whole thing. I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I don't have the channel, but I did watch highlights for it. I don't know what the deal is with Michigan State. They don't look good on the run at all. It's a good thing they've got a defense, that is dangerous, but it was not enough to beat Arizona State. Michigan State, 15th ranked, loses to Arizona State 16-13. They are now 1-1 and one of the worst teams in the Big Ten. Another team that didn't win is Northwestern. I thought this would be easier for them. I thought Northwestern would look better. I thought Northwestern would win, maybe a close one, but they would still win by maybe 8, maybe 10 points. That did not happen. Duke beat Northwestern 21-7. Minnesota honestly, they probably had the most forgettable game, to be honest with you. Minnesota does win here. They're 2-0, 21-14. Minnesota's just doing what they gotta do, basically. They're not really being talked about. They're just doing what they need to be doing, and that's winning. But that's not gonna last long, I don't think. Iowa wins a close, low-scoring, boring game when last year it was a very high-scoring, exciting game. Iowa does win, 13-3. Oh, it was so boring. I couldn't watch it anymore. I couldn't. Illinois does win here. They win by a fair amount of points. They got the win 34-14 against Western Illinois. And I think what's the other games? I can't remember the other games, but I'm gonna let's just move on. New Mexico and Wisconsin. Wisconsin looked very good here. They struggled early, but then they were actually losing early, but then they just like Penn State, they established their dominance and took care of business. They won 45-14. Nebraska played their first game of the year at home against Colorado. And they're 0-1. Nebraska is. Because Colorado won 33-28. Colorado honestly should have won by more. It should have been 39-28, but they missed 2 easy field goals. But it didn't even matter. They just scored a touchdown pass to win this one. Nebraska really didn't look that great at all against Colorado, even though they did score 28 points. It is Colorado, so it's not really meaning anything if you beat them by a whole bunch, but if you lose to them, it's kind of embarrassing, to be honest. I mean, Colorado's better than some of the other teams that all these other Big Ten teams are playing, but really Nebraska should have won here, but Colorado wins here. Purdue. Poor Purdue. I feel really bad for them. They aren't going to do well at all this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they only won a game or a couple of games. They're 0-2 right now. I don't know who they play next week, but I feel bad for them. Eastern Michigan gets the win, 20-19 over Purdue. Purdue is the worst team right now in the Big Ten, 14th ranked. And that's it. This is week 3. I've already got all the games typed in. So that's that. I've got every week so far. Now, I'm not going off of Big Ten standings. I'm not going off of who's played a conference game, because otherwise Northwestern would be at number 2. I'm going off of record and who they lost to and just who I think is better at this point. This is all my opinion. This is not what the system says, really, or what experts are saying. I had Ohio State at 1 here. They are 2-0. Wisconsin 2-0. Both dominating victories for both teams. Penn State, after a struggle last week, winning in overtime, coming back, winning big here. Minnesota just doing what they got to do. Maryland is just, they just passed by last week. They did kind of what Penn State did and just, took control of the situation. Indiana's just kind of doing what Minnesota's doing, just kind of flying by. Iowa's winning some boring games. Illinois is just passing by because they're playing easy games. Michigan, getting a big whooping on a team that is nobody's, but they did lose to a top 10 team last week. They are the best 1-1 team in the conference. Got Northwestern, who did beat Purdue, but Purdue not really much of a team to beat. And they lost to Duke, so they are at number 10. Michigan State was put down. Michigan State was going to be put probably, I would say at 9 where Michigan is, or maybe at 8. But I would have put them ahead of Iowa, to be honest with you, if they would have won this game, but they did not. So I put them at 11. Rutgers got killed by Ohio State. I can't put Michigan. I can't put Rutgers ahead of Michigan State when Michigan State has not gotten killed. They've had 2 close games and only won one of them against nothing teams. So I did put Michigan State ahead of Rutgers because Rutgers did get killed, even though Ohio State is a very tough opponent. Nebraska has only played one game. I had to put them at 13 because they don't have a win right now. If they would have, well, I probably would have put them up a little bit more if they did play last week, but I can't right now. And Purdue obviously is at last because they have played same amount of games as everybody else except for Nebraska, and is the only team in the Big Ten to lose both of them. So Purdue is in last place here. So that is that. I also have it from last week, but this was kind of just in random order, to be honest with you. I had Michigan at 13th. Whoa, I didn't want that. What the heck? What did I type? I'm trying to see. I didn't type anything, I guess. All right. So that was it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. The most shocking thing of all the whole weekend was probably Michigan State losing. Michigan State, hold on. Actually, I'll go to it. Where is it? It's right here. Michigan State actually does have a bye week next week. They're on a bye week. They're the only Big Ten team on a bye week, and this is a good thing for them. I think they need a bye week. They need to fix some things, but really, no, like all the Big Ten teams really don't play very, very big opponents, very hard opponents, to be honest with you. You know, I think all the Big Ten teams could win these games. I think the team with the hardest opponent is probably Ohio State. They play TCU, which is 16th ranked. I think right now they're 2-0. They'll probably go up a little bit. Also, Temple's not hard. Ball State, Kent State, Southern, Rutgers, Akron, Miami, Northern Iowa, South Florida. Dang it. What did I do? South Florida, BYU, Troy, Missouri, and Michigan State's on the bye week, obviously. So, yeah, I would say all these teams aren't ranked. The only team that's ranked is Ohio State. TCU is ranked. None of these teams are ranked. Penn State's going to be ranked. They're going to probably go up a little bit. Michigan's ranked. They might go up a little bit as well. Let's see. Wisconsin's ranked. They'll probably stay where they're at since every top 10 team won. Purdue obviously won't be doing anything. Michigan State, I don't know where they'll be, to be honest with you. I don't know if they don't deserve, really to me, they don't deserve the top 15. I would probably take them out of the top 25 for now because they don't deserve it right now. Until they can prove that they can win big games and, beat opponents like Arizona State with flying colors, they should not be in the top 25 or top 15. They were going into this week 15th ranked after being 11th last week, and they were put down because they were put from 11th to 15th because they didn't play well against Utah State either, and they barely got the win. And I thought the same thing would be happening for Penn State, but then they proved to me that they can win big games, or not big games, but they can win games with flying colors. Those are big question marks for Michigan, Penn State, and Michigan State. Michigan State, and Penn State. They didn't look good last week. Penn State barely won. They won in overtime against Appalachian State. Michigan State barely got the win over Utah State, and Michigan lost to Notre Dame, and those were all, they were all big question marks, but, this week they all showed. Michigan State didn't. They lost, so they have not improved. Michigan showed that they can win by a lot of points. Penn State did the same thing, so they proved, they took back what they were doing, and they proved that some people are wrong, and that it was too early to throw out the red flag for Michigan and Penn State at this point. I have a few other videos planned for this week. I have my own opinionated video, I guess. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet. I'm not sure if I should or not. But I think I will. I think I will probably later in the week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, something like that, when we get closer to next weekend. So that's the video for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.